Hi, boys and girls. This is Neurotics, and I'm gonna have to keep my voice down in this episode. My wife is sick upstairs. I think she has the flu. Um, but so I'm pretty excited. I shoveled the snow, the front and the back, and the walk, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. A lot of endorphins going through my system right now. And it just makes me realize, when my wife's MIA, as far as being sick, just how much she does for this house. That I'm just kind of like sitting in my chair doing, nothing. But it was good. I'm glad I was able to do something that actually mattered in this household. So I'm really excited because we are getting a new TV. This is amazing news. The TV we have is 32 inches flat screen. My wife got it. Let's just say the TV is older than me. She's had the TV longer than she's had me. Okay, she paid $600 for it at least. Okay, so I'm really, really excited. We're getting a high definition television, flat screen. Of course, it's a smart TV. I'm so excited. When she texted me that we were doing this, I nearly peed myself while I was on the phone with a customer. It was that surprising. In fact, to a certain extent, I thought maybe I just blacked out and I'd sent her the text message, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, I'm so excited. It's like, this is an amazing Hanukkah present. We're getting a TV. Anyway, so enough about that. So I was thinking, I don't know why, but there's this story that I heard several years ago that was told to me by a rabbi, not to me directly, but it was a sermon, and he was talking about this guy, and this has just been stuck in my head for like the last, I don't know, week or so, and I don't know why. There's this story about a rabbi, right? He's on the top floor of this apartment building, right? He's led this immaculate, amazing life, done so many good things for so many different people. He's just a good guy. He's a mensch. He's what us Jews would call a mensch, a good guy. And then down on the first floor, there's this really skeevy, kind of dirty guy who's just been a horrible, shitty person all of his life. I don't know the details. There may have been some assaults. There may have been some murders. I don't know. Maybe he robbed a bank. I don't know. But he's not he's a bad dude. Okay. So anyway, this rabbi one day decides, you know what, I've lived my whole life like this. I want to do something. I want to go to the dark side. I want to do something. I don't want to be this wonderful human being anymore. I want to go dark, right? So down below, there's this guy, the bad dude, and he's like, you know what? I've done I did some pretty bad shit in my life, but you know what? I think I'm gonna turn things around. I'm gonna be a better man. So the two of them the bad guy's rushing up the stairs to talk to the rabbi, and the rabbi's going downstairs to talk to this bad dude, right? And they bump into each other and they hurtle into each other, right? And they just tumble down the stairs to their death. This is kind of the grim part. They both die. Okay? The rabbi approaches the angel, and the angel says to him, you've led a really good life, but you know what? You're going to become a shitty person, so you're going to hell. All right? So here's the deal. Judaism, in Judaism, I've heard mixed things, okay? I've heard, there are very different interpretations of hell, or eternal damnation, whatever you want to call it. There's one that's your standard issue, fire and brimstone, and then there's this one that's just completely this black void that's just it's so dark, darkness is almost tangible, and it's cold, and you're just stuck alone in the dark for eternity. I think that one's worse than the fire and brimstone. The fire and brimstone, at least it's warm, right? Anyway, not that I'm hoping they go to hell. But anyway, this angel says to the rabbi, you've done this, had this amazing life, but you know what? You were gonna do a shitty thing, so you're fucked. Basically, you're going to hell. We're just gonna call it hell. And then, he looks over at this guy who's been a shitty human being this whole life, and he goes, "Oh, you were gonna try. You were thinking about doing some good. You'll get written in the book of life, which is basically like our version of heaven. Basically, you're good to go. Basically." And so, and it's the whole story is all about the choices we make. And like, the rabbi told this story, and I thought to myself, wow, what a load of, like, what a cauldron of bubbling shit. A big warm cup cauldron of just boiling bullshit. Because here's the thing, just because you make it, I mean, yes, we, as addicts, we learned that we made a decision to turn our will over to God as we understood Him, right? So it does involve a decision. But here's the thing: if you've been a shitty dude all your fucking life, you don't deserve to get, go to the good place, or I don't think so. I think that's bullshit. I think you get an A for effort. That's kind of cool. You get a prize for participation. Awesome, good for you. Go get him, chief. But this rabbi, he's led like this amazing life. He's helped so many people, and he gets the shitty end of the stick. He gets sent to hell, or whatever the place is. I just think that's just like the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. So here's the thing, our lives are just based on a series of decisions. You know what I mean? Like, we do good things, and sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen, sometimes things blow up in our face, right? And then there are times where we do shitty things, and sometimes they work in our favor, which is not always which is kind of crappy. I mean, you do bad things should happen to you, but at the same time, like, you do bad things and bad things happen. It's just the way it works sometimes. I don't know, like, I remember a few years ago, I was called a bad Jew because I but like, I gave a really glowing review to a movie directed by Mel Gibson. It was called Hacksaw Ridge. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. It's an amazing movie. You can check. I don't care if you do it illegally. Just don't tell me about it. Anyway, so Hacksaw Ridge, great movie, right? And I wrote this glowing review. And this person, who is no longer a friend, no longer a part of our lives, wrote a post saying, "You're a bad Jew." And I'm like, what? I mean, I never really claimed to be a good Jew. I mean, I've never really, I would definitely not say I'm the poster boy for good Judaism. I eat pork. Sorry, Rabbi Allen. I eat shellfish. My wife does not eat pork, just for the record. And if I do eat pork, I have to brush my teeth and wash my face before she'll even give me a kiss. So, there. Just to make things right. I don't want to throw my wife under the bus, because she is a much better Jew than I am. But here's the thing: what makes a good Jew? What makes a good person? I mean, is it good decisions? I mean, is it providing for your family? I mean, what makes a good person? What do we forgive and what do we not forgive? I don't know. Depending on how we're raised, that really determines the way we're gonna go. I love my mom and I love my dad, but I'm kind of an insecure mess, and they did their best, but I have a lot of issues. I'm scared of people leaving me. because I've talked about that before in the previous episodes. I'm also really easily intimidated, and I'm a people pleaser because it's very hard to please my dad. We used to do this thing where he'd watch one of my movies and I'd watch one of his movies, and whenever it's time to watch one of my movies, he'd be extremely critical or he'd fall asleep. But he kind of does that with most movies these days. He falls asleep. It's kind of funny but frustrating. But anyway, I love my parents, no doubt about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I love my parents so much, but they're not perfect, And I remember there was this really my mom, wow, Freudian slip. My mom once, this was a few years ago. She just said it was just like, I wish I had done things differently, and then you'd be more confident in yourself. And that was a huge moment in my life because honestly, I am not a very confident person. This is the most confident I get, which is, I don't know what that says. I'm talking to like nobody right now, but I'm kind of talking to you guys, I know I'm driving my wife mad with this whole podcast. I mean, I obsess over it to a crazy degree, and and my psychiatrist goes like, "Hal, are you manic?" Again, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing with her, but like anytime I get excited about something, she goes, "Are you manic?" Like anything that I talk about, that's just like her go-to. Are you manic? No, I'm not manic. I'm excited about something. I'm passionate for something for the first time in my life. It's something other than my wife that I'm passionate about. The thing is, getting back to the whole "you're a bad Jew." Nobody gets to tell. I mean, people can do what they want, but here's the thing: nobody has the right to tell you that whether you're a good Jew or a bad Jew. You know what I mean? We do what we can. We do the best we can in this life. The people that are good, we're not perfect. I'm not a perfect Jew. I'm a terrible Jew. But I'm not a bad Jew. Not in that way. Not because I review a fucking Mel Gibson movie and give it a good review. Mel Gibson, I'm sorry, he's done some pretty bad things. And indefensible. Can't defend some of the stuff that he's done. But I do believe in second chances. I really do. And I know that for the last 4 years, he's been donating money to the Holocaust survivors for the last 4 years. And it's not been a public thing. He's been doing it on his own, quietly, which I think is a lot more admirable than saying, "Hey, guess what, guys? I'm doing this. I'm donating to Holocaust, so look at me." In 12-step programs, you got to make amends, And the thing is, maybe that's his way of making amends. I don't know, but getting away from Mel Gibson, all right? And then the same person, okay, that called me the bad Jew, apparently he thought that their conversation was going to be private and that it wouldn't get back to me, but I'm sorry. He clearly does not know that there's the husband-wife marriage clause where the wife tells the husband everything and vice versa, okay? He clearly did not know that. But anyway, he tells her that he was like, "Oh, you should have kicked him to the curb a long time ago because he's a dirty drug addict and he stole money and blah, blah, blah." And the thing is, here's the thing. Was I a dirty drug addict? I don't know if I was dirty. I mean, I cleansed myself. I took showers, but if we're going to go that route. But I wasn't, I as far as drug addicts go, I did really bad things to my own body, and I did. The thing I always say is the heart, did I steal money? I don't think I stole money. I think I definitely used money that we probably didn't have to use. It was from my own bank account, but to a certain extent, my money is our money. But, to be called a dirty drug addict, here's the thing. I've worked, I confronted him about it. I'm like, "Look, dude, I worked my ass to be, to get to where I'm at. If you want to think I'm a dirty drug addict, fine, that's fine. But if that's what you think, you don't know me. You don't know me. I've worked very, very hard to have the life I have. There are times where I've actually had thoughts about. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time. I remember how innocent I was when I had my bar mitzvah, and I was doing my Haftorah, which is the Torah portion, which is the big part of the bar mitzvah, the part where you become a man. And I remember just how innocent I was. I was baby-faced. I'm still kind of baby-faced when when I shave and don't look like a wolf man after not going outside for like a week because of my job. But anyway, but I was baby-faced and I was innocent and, I was just glowing with just joy because my bar mitzvah is one of the highest points of my life. It is. I had an amazing bar mitzvah. And there are times where I wish I could go back. Me, adult Hal, 37-year-old, soon to be 38. I know. I'm not going to, yeah. And go back to him and say, look, kid, young man, mensch, whatever. There's going to be at some point, man, there's going to be a fork in the road, okay? Where you can take a road where you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to hurt others and you're just going to be down and out and just absolutely just a mess. And your life's going to implode on you. Or there's the other fork. The other way that you go. And that is where you lead a clean life. You stay away from drugs. You stay away from like sex and all kinds of bad stuff that I did. And you aren't a jerk to the people that love you. Because I was a jerk. Absolutely a jerk. Complete asshole. But that being said, like, I think about that, and I'm just kind of like, that seems like a really good idea, but I don't think it is, because the thing is, every single decision, and this goes back to everything that I've been talking about, every single decision, good or bad, has got me to this point where I'm talking to you right now in this mic. Everything. Like I said, I've said this a million times, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me, I have this fabulous life. Our lives, my wife and I have gone through a lot of shit. A lot. Failed adoptions, were in fertility treatments, finding out we can't have kids. We've been through a lot. And, been hard. It's been a hard time, and all of this has been through my, during sobriety. So, like, I'm okay. I'm okay with how things turned out. I mean, yeah, my wife is sick upstairs. I wish she weren't sick, because I want my wife healthy. But you know what? I'm looking around my house, and I'm talking in this whisper, which is fine. I'm using my inside voice. Sometimes I can be a little bit obnoxious with my outside voice, which I will not use. But, I was able to shovel snow. Did I want to shovel snow? No, not really. Who wants to do that? That's like saying, oh, you should want to do the dishes. Sort of like in that movie, The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. And Vince Vaughn's like, who wants to do the dishes? Who actually wants to do the dishes? But I shoveled the snow, and I felt so much like I was grateful that I have a house where I'm able that we own, and I'm able to shovel snow. I'm physically able to do that. I don't think anybody thought I was going to be able to do that back in 1988. Nobody. The fact that we have this house and we're not rich, but just like Ian Hilmer said in one of my last podcasts, this is like a mansion. It really is. It's like a castle. And the thing is, I'm a really lucky guy. I'm a really lucky guy. As many poor decisions that I've made a lot of really great decisions, and that one, the best decision I've ever made. And my wife will probably be like, oh God, he's going to tell the story again. But I remember I had a friend, and we kind of had we had a falling out, and I had a choice. He could take me to the airport, or my wife could take me to the airport. And I remember driving. I decided, I'm just not going to deal with this guy right now. I mean, he's like my best friend, but he's one of my best friends, but he's being kind of a douche. Sorry, Matthew, but you were being kind of a douche. But anyway, so I said, I just kind of pulled Amanda, my wife, aside and said, hey, do you think you could take me to the airport? I just, I don't want to deal with this guy right now. He's being kind of an asshole. So, and, my wife was like, the girl who would eventually become my wife, and, we were kind of we didn't know what we were at that point. It was kind of like a big question mark. And we were driving to the airport because I was going home back to Omaha. And I remember this song came on, and it was called Almost Lover. And it's by A Fine Frenzy. Thank you. I couldn't remember what it was. A Fine Frenzy. And it played, and it's just a beautiful song. And I was like, so I had a pretty good weekend. Did you have a good weekend? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what was your favorite part? And she said something to me, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but she said to me, when you kissed my forehead. And I was like, oh wow, why? She goes, because when you did that, you made me feel like I was beautiful. And then I knew. This was it. And we went to the airport. We got to the airport, and I remember we got to she helped me get my luggage to the place where you check your luggages, or somewhere around that area. And she just, I gave her a hug, and we kissed, and I just made the decision. I said, you know what? Fuck it, let's do this. And she was like, what? And I was like, let's do it. Let's make I want this. I want us. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, I don't think I've ever been more sure in my life. And yet at the same time, I don't think I've ever been as unsure in my life, because I've never been in a relationship that lasted where I didn't push that person away. And I was really scared that I was going to push Amanda away. But the thing is, she wouldn't let me. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that she didn't push me away, because even through all the trials and tribulations that we've been through, she is my Besheret. She's my everything. She's my fate. She is my one and my only. So I'm getting kind of mushy here. I get it, but the thing is, I love my wife, and I love our dog, as crazy as he is, and I love my cat. But anyway, I love my life, and as always, we make these decisions. Like, no matter how small the decision is, it can really, they all have reverberations. It's like the butterfly effect, or the ripple theory, or whatever, what have you. But we live these lives, and we do it, and we don't do it alone, and we do it, and and sometimes we make good decisions, and sometimes we make bad decisions. And I've made my fair share of both. And in the end of the day, I'm grateful for both of them, because I made them. And some of these decisions that I made them with Amanda. We made them together. So I'm just going to leave you with this. We make these decisions, and we never know what's going to happen because of them. We never know what way the shoe is going to fall, but we make them, and we hope for the best. We do our best. You know, we do it. And as always, we do it one day at a time.